Hey guys, it's Cooper Gretsch here from Kick It to Scoops. I am the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. You want to be part of the show, Kick It to Scoops? Send through your questions through the Facebook link, which I'll attach every show on the post. And if you want to email me at aflinfolive@gmail.com, send through your questions and you may feature on the show and be answered your question from yours truly, Cooper Gretsch, for free. Yes, for free. If you want to be on the show, as I said, send it through and I'll get back to you. Go Saints. Too easy this is. Kick It to Scoops. Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. We've got a big show for you guys today. We've got the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang, review round 23 and preview the finals, which is coming this Friday night. We're going to go through my All-Australian team for 2021, the list of retirees. Going to go through the AFL's All-Australian squad of 40 and my thoughts, my rising star prediction, an audio message, and of course, the most hyped Brownlow medal of all time, the Scoops medal for 2021. Who will be the winner? Find out later today or tonight. Let's get it stuck right into things. Welcome to the Scoops medal for 2021. And two new All-Australian inclusions who have not been in all year.
He's kicked the goal. The Eagles have won.
Please welcome the world famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. Only one thing to rant on about this week. Now, normally I've got a plethora of things to rant on about, but just the one. It's not a major rant as I have most weeks. But the All-Australian squad of 40, I'm going to go through the list. I'm kind of spoiling it a little bit now, but I'm going to rant on about it for a particular reason. I'm not going to go through the people that so much have made it, but I'm more frustrated about the people that haven't made the squad of 40. Travis Boak from Port Adelaide had a great year, pretty solid year, not in the squad. Jake Lloyd from the Swans, great year, not in it. Aaron Hall from the Roos, not in it. Joe Dano from Brisbane, not in it. Timmy Taranto from the Giants, not in it. And I can go through probably a list of other players, but they're the names off the top of my head that I've thought of that were particularly unlikely to at least not get in the squad. Now, I understand that not everyone can fit into 40 spots, and I've always said that myself. But how you cannot have particular Boak and Lloyd in the squad of 40 is an absolute insult to them. People want to say that Lloyd's not effective in disposals and he has the kickouts. Still a great player. I see a lot of players get named in squads that aren't named in their positions. Or there's a lot of issues with the squad, and let alone the 22 they select. There's a few in that squad of 40, which I'll get to later, that should not be in there, and that Boak and Lloyd could easily replace. So the AFL squad normally it's led by bias of Richmond players, which I'm surprised for once there's not. And there's only a few players from some top clubs in terms of the ladder position. But the AFL's All-Australian selection squad, or the selectors, lift your game. Not good enough. Screwed has Travis Boak, Jake Lloyd in particular. Well, that was a short, sharp edition of Scoops Goes Bang. But don't worry, we've got plenty of other big segments tonight, including the Scoops medal. Just going to mention that again. And also, while I'm at it, I didn't mention off the top, so I'm going to mention it now. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. And merch. Merch is so much merch out at the moment. There's hats, there's a hoodie, There's T-shirts. There's a mug. There's a stubby holder. There's a lot of merch you want. And you know what to do. Head to the link, which is in the description of this YouTube video. Get your merch today, but some of it won't be there for much longer. And there's a lot of great designs on there. The double cobra is one, which I love that design. You can get that on a hoodie and a T-shirt and a hat. So get yours today. Now, we're going to move on to reviewing and previewing the rounds just gone and upcoming. Review round 23. So the final games for the home and away season. Boy, oh boy, there were some great games, in particular the games on Saturday. We'll go all the way back to Friday night at Marvel Stadium. Port Adelaide 66 defeated the Bulldogs 64. Great game. Mitch Georgiades unfortunately went off a hamstring injury, so he's in doubt for this week in the finals, or the first week of finals. So, yeah, it was a great game for the Power. In the end, Bulldogs were a bit disappointed. Bontempelli did nothing yet again. And it was proven on Fox Footy by David King that he is in an ineffective last 7 weeks. So to the trolls that keep telling me he's a lock for the Brownlow, you're kidding yourselves. Lift your game. That's probably something I should have ran it on about, but I didn't. Yeah, he was well held. Ollie Wines was great. Travis Boak was great. There's a lot of great plays in that game for the Power. They got the job. Now, in a game of farewells, which we'll get to the list of retirees as I mentioned earlier later, but 83 apiece, Richmond and Hawthorn at the MCG, drawn on Saturday. What a great game. Silk, Sean Burgoyne's last game. I wish Silk all the best in his career. I'm going to, as I said, go through the retirees later. 83 apiece. Speaking of Sean Burgoyne, he was diving on the line. Jack Real kicked the seal to tie the game with 4 seconds to go. Heartbreaking for the Hawk fans and Sean Burgoyne, but credit to Richmond to coming back in the last 5 or 10 minutes. But Richmond did not make finals, and neither did the Hawks, but the Hawks had a great last month and bow out their great legendary coach in Alistair Clarkson. Also on Saturday at Marvel Stadium, the Swans smashed the Suns 136-49. Toik Miller was great. John Dawson, Buddy Franklin, Jake Lloyd was great. There's a lot of great places on, like Luke Parker, Isaac Keeney. The list could go on and on and on. Yeah. For the Brisbane Lions, 125 defeated the Eagles 87 by 38 points. Now, people say 38 points was an easy win. Well, West Coast, to their credit, which I don't give them much credit, and I will for this game, all the players that got out, Kennedy, McGovern, Brad Shepherd, there's a few others, and Oscar Allen went off during the game. So, to their credit, they performed pretty well with Brisbane. They piled on the goals late. They needed to win by around the 5-goal mark, winning by 38. It all depended on what the Eagles scored, but the Eagles were scoring big, so the Lions had to score more. And it was a great game. Lincoln McCarthy, we love you. Why do we love him? Because he kicked the Bulldogs out of the top 4 with 20-odd seconds to go. Dan McStay missed from about 50 out, about 45. Like we're thinking, oh no, the Bulldogs are going to make the 8th. And Lincoln McCarthy, in Troy Swartz fashion, kicked the winning point. Just scraped in, hanging around the point post near the boundary line, and it just scraped in Lincoln McCarthy. It reminded me of the Troy Swartz St Kilda debacle at Marvel. And a long, long time ago, gave me flashbacks to that game. And he got the winning point. And if that wasn't enough, 16 seconds to go, the kick out went from West Coast. Charlie Cameron marked about 55 out. Long range shot after the sign to kick it through the big sticks. Not only ended the Eagles season, but it ended the Bulldogs' top 4 chances. And Charlie Cameron, you just seen Chris Fagan's reactions. That was absolutely awesome. Chris Fagan. What a great moment it was, Fags. Congratulations to the Brisbane Lions for getting back in the top 4 where they belong. Geelong and Melbourne. Oh, Maxi. Now, I'm going to attach the tweet above, or I'm just going to go through it at least. What I tweeted Max Gorn during the week. And I said, please do us all a favour. Do the rest of Australia a favour and please beat Geelong. Be aware, there's a certain few individuals that will get free kicks going their way. Joel Selwood, Patrick Dangerfield, Tom Hawkins. Yeah, I could get going on and on about names there. Anyway, Geelong choked a 44-point lead. For people always want to reference St Kilda. What is St Kilda going to do, this idiots? What has St Kilda got to do with this? Geelong coughed up a 44-point lead. No excuses. People can blame Brad Close. Yes, they can. But you can also blame that whole midfield, the whole team, not just Brad Close. He did it. Had a brain fade, punched the ball over the boundary line when the ball's over the boundary line when Melbourne were getting free. Jakey Lever was smart. His kick, very smart from Jake Lever. That was a smart kick. He was about 55. He wasn't going to get the distance. There was no point going for goal. It just got punched through. He wouldn't have got the journey on the full. So then Geelong would have won. But he done a smart thing, centered it up into the hole, and Max Gawn took a great mark. And that was very smart for Max Gawn. He gave a little signal out to Jakey Lever to center it. And the Geelong players, Reece Stanley was not the only player. The other players in that, Lockie Henderson and a few others, weren't aware that Jake Lever was not having a shot. And if any players are brain, which they clearly didn't in this case, that he was never having the shot. So just question some of the football players' IQ. He was not smart. But Jake Lever's and Max Gawn's was 100% to perfection. Normally, I would say Melbourne are gone, but they're back. They're the minor premiers for 2021. And Maxi is obviously been known to miss goals from close range after the siren or before the siren. Did against Geelong a year or two ago at the MCG, 2019. So Maxi would be thrilled with that. And again, Maxi, thanks for doing us all a favour. You can lose this week. But thanks, Maxi. We'll move on to the other Saturday night game in what was Eddie Betts' 350th and final game. Carlton 75, beaten by the Giants 89. Carlton in what they normally do in the normal fashion, start well, drop off, come back, drop off. Pretty much that's realistically how they went. Steve McNeely was the sub for the Giants, so they're showing the great depth they got at the moment to come back through injury. But the Giants did what they had to do and got the 14-point win over Carlton. Now, in Tassie, the Saints smashed the Dockers 107-49. The Saints ended the Dockers' chances and gifted Essendon the spot in the finals. Just remember, Essendon fans, 6,203. 6,203 plus days it's hoping to be once they lose to the Bulldogs. Hopefully, but we'll wait and see. But regardless, even if that streak ends, it's been a long streak. It's been a great gag, 6,203. Could it be the final number? We'll have to wait and see. But the Saints were great. Absolutely fantastic. Missed out on the 8 just by a game. There's a few games I know that I'll be reviewing teams over the upcoming month or two. But just briefly on the St Kilda, there's 2 games against Geelong in particular. The game against Adelaide, the game against Sydney, the first time when it was the goal kicking. The trouble that 4 games St Kilda should easily have won, but they didn't, unfortunately. But they ended the season on a great note, 107-49, 58-point victory over the Dockers in Tassie. Timmy Membry was great. Jack Steele, as always, was great. Will he win the Scoops medal? Find out soon. Cooper Sharman, fellow Cooper, he was great. 4 goals, 16 possessions, and about 5 marks. 4 of those contested. He was great. How he didn't get the Rising Star, I won't know. Don't tell me he's ineligible because he was eligible. But yeah, he was great, and we'll see how he polls. Essendon and Collingwood at the MCG, 102-64 G. Essendon did what they had to do, and they secured a final spot. They already did with Fremantle losing, but they definitely secured it with a 38-point victory over the Pies. Chris Main's final game, I wish Mainey all the best. In the final game of round 23 in the home and away season, 98 with the Crows at home, smashed North Melbourne 54, winning by 44 points. I'll be disappointed if I'm a Roos fan. Adelaide, they were a similar boat on the ladder. Adelaide gave them a big touch-up. And your retiring greats, David McKay for the Crows. Tommy Lynch was delicious, but I think he might get another go elsewhere. But we'll talk about that in the upcoming weeks when the trade period is coming up closer and closer. But the Crows, 44-point victory. Rory Laird, Ben Keys were absolutely amazing. And for the Roos, probably just Aaron Hall. Now, we're going to preview the final series for 2021, the first round of the qualifying final, Friday night at the Adelaide Oval, 7:50 Melbourne time. Port Adelaide, yeah, you wish, Crows fans. Port Adelaide beat Geelong. It's going to be a good game, but all these finals are clearly going to be a good game. But I'm going to go for the Power. I'm pretty confident with the Power, even if Mitch Georgiades doesn't play. The Power at home are an unbeatable force almost, so they should beat Geelong. On Saturday at 3:20 Victorian time at UTAS Stadium in Tasmania, the Swans and the Giants, the Derby in Tassie. They had it in Perth. They've now had it they're going to have it in Tassie. Elimination final. It's really hard. Both these sides are in great form, so it's really hard to tell. They're both probably the 2 most informed sides, along with Adelaide at the moment in Brisbane. So I'm tossing and turning between this game. I'm going to go for the Swans just. But Jeter seemed to perform better against the better side, so we'll see how they go. But I'm going to go for the Swans just. Will Buddy get to 1,000 goals before the end of the season? He needs 8 more, I think. So obviously they need to get past this week and next week. You probably need 3. Probably need to get the prelim to get to the 1,000 mark. But wait and see for the great Budwa. Yes, Budwa. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Swans instead. The other qualifying final at 7:30 Melbourne time, at the Adelaide Oval, Melbourne and Brisbane. Neutral venue for both. Be a big game for both. So Melbourne like playing in Adelaide. Brisbane Lions go good anywhere. So tough one, but I'm going to go for the Brisbane Lions to hear the mighty roar at the Adelaide Oval. The other elimination final on Sunday at 3:20 at UTAS Stadium, also in Tassie, 3:20 Melbourne time, as I said. The Western Bulldogs and Essendon. Will 6,203 plus days extend, or will the streak end? The streak that Essendon fans have been living with for that long. They have not won a final in 6,203 days when it gets to Sunday. So, a 50-50 game. Bulldogs on the decline. I said this the last month. They are going in poor form. Scraped a line against Gold Coast. Lost to Essendon, who they're playing now. And they lost last week to the Power. I think they lost another game in between that as well. And they lost to Sydney not too long ago as well. So, they're in a bit of bother. Will Essendon win? I don't know. Will Bulldogs win? I don't know. Stephen Martin's set to play, which will help their structure out immensely. Tim English, for people that keep saying he's a ruckman, he is not a ruckman. He's a forward ruck. He's not a good ruckman at all. And Beveridge finally conceded that effectively in his post-match presser yesterday. So, on Friday night. So, yeah, they didn't want to play Jordan Sweet. They've gone with Tim English and Lewis Young. Lewis Young will probably fall out this week for Steph Martin, but we'll wait and see. No Bruce up forward. So, who do I go in this one? I'm going to go for the Bulldogs because I think if Stephen Martin is back, that would help that structure out a lot. Their back line is still a concern without Alex. Well, Alex Keith is playing. Alex Keith is playing, but if they didn't have him, they would be in dire straits at the moment. But I'm going the Western Bulldogs. Now, I'm going to go through the list of retirees. Now, there's a lot of retirees in the listing / retiring so far. But let's get stuck right into that list. I'm going to go in alphabetical order from the Crows: Tom Lynch, David McKay, Daniel Talia, and Tyson Stengel. Carlton Footy Club: Eddie Betts. There's no one at Brisbane so far. At Carlton: Eddie Betts, Levi Casbolt, and Mark Murphy. Essendon: Paddy Ambrose and Carol Hooker. Fremantle: Reece Conker, Stephen Hill, and Lino Thomas. For Geelong, no one. Gold Coast, you got Zach Smith, Jordan Murdoch. Zach Smith and Jordan Murdoch. I apologise. I'm with Jack Homsch, Jordan Murdoch, Zach Smith, and Jared Harbrow. We go now to the Hawks: Shawnee Burgoyne, Jonathan Patton, Tom Scally. Melbourne, no one at the moment. North, we've got nobody at the moment. Adelaide, you got Tommy Rockcliffe. Richmond, you got Dave Asprey and Basher Hawley. The Saints, you got Jakey Carlisle, Dill Robertson, and Sean McKernan. Wish them all the best. Also, like everyone, people say I'm not wishing any other club the best. Everyone the best. Sydney, no one at the moment. West Coast, you got Daniel Venables, who was a poor way to bow out with concussion reasons, and Lin Jong, wretched run of injuries from the Bulldogs. We wish all those retirees and the listings all the best in their future endeavours. Now, one I want to mention in particular, or two actually, is Sean Burgoyne and Eddie Betts, two of the most respected players in the competition by far. Eddie Betts played one of, if not the best small forward of all time with Stevie Milne. I wish Eddie the best. 350 great, classic games, provided highlights for so many. So, Eddie, wish you all the best, mate. And I'll try and reenact some more goal reenactments of yours, Eddie. They're pretty hard to do. You amaze everyone, not only Carlton and Adelaide fans where you played, but every club fan in the entire competition. Ed, wish you all the best, mate. Sean Burgoyne, likewise, provided so many great highlights. A 4-time premiership player, 3 with the Hawks, 1 with the Power. Silk, his silky skills prove the nickname. Silk, all the best, mate, in your retiree, in your future endeavours as well. Now, we're going to move on to, you guessed it, going to go through the AFL's All-Australian squad of 40. But I will do that right now, or will I do mine? I don't know. Let's go with my roll. Well, not my, it's not a rolling All-Australian team no more. We've got a ceremony. Please welcome I'm now going to exclusively reveal Cooper's All-Australian team for 2021. I'm going to start off in the back line. This is the confirmed All-Australian team of mine. From the back line, in the pocket from the Sydney Swans, Jake Lloyd. A fullback from the Melbourne Footy Club, Stephen May. The other back pocket from the GWS Giants, Isaac Cumming. The half-back line, first from the Collingwood Football Club, Jack Crisp. The other half-back line from the Brisbane Lions, Daniel Rich. Centre half-back from the Geelong Football Club, Tom Stewart. The wingman, first from the Hawthorn Football Club, Tom Mitchell. The other wingman from the Port Adelaide Footy Club, Carl Amon. The centreman, the man of steel from the St Kilda Football Club, Jack Steele. The half-forward line, first from the Adelaide Football Club, Rory Laird. The other half-forward from the Sydney Swans, Luke Parker. The centre half-forward from the Western Bulldogs, Josh Bruce. Forward pockets first, the new addition from the Brisbane Lions, Joe Danaher. The other forward pocket from the GWS Giants, Toby Green. The full forward, the Coleman Medal leader and winner with 58 goals from the Carlton Football Club, Harry Mackay. The ruckman from the Fremantle Football Club, Sean Darcy. The Rovers first from the Gold Coast Suns, Toy Miller. From the Western Bulldogs, the other rover, Jackson McRae. The interchange from the Essendon Football Club, Zach Merritt. Also on the interchange from the Melbourne Football Club, Clayton Oliver. Also on the interchange from the Port Adelaide Footy Club, Ollie Wines. And the other spot on the interchange from the GWS Giants, the other new inclusion, Timmy Taranto. The overall changes from the round 22 All-Australian team to the final All-Australian team for season 2021. In from the Brisbane Lions, Joe Danaher, and from the GWS Giants, Tim Taranto. Out, Sam Walsh from the Carlton Football Club, and from the Demons, Bailey Breach. Leave your thoughts down below, guys. Your thoughts on the season 2021 All-Australian team of mine. I can exclusively confirm I have not done this all season for obvious reasons, but the vice captain and captain of my rolling All-Australian team is as follows. The vice captain, Jackson McRae. And the captain for my rolling All-Australian team is the Saints skipper, the man of steel, Jack Steele. Congratulations to particular those two for getting vice captain and captain. Now, moving on from my All-Australian selection for 2021, I've now got to go through the AFL's squad of 40, which will be announced on Thursday night, or it'll be cut down to 22. But I'm going to go through the AFL's squad of 40 in club order. From the Adelaide Crows, Rory Laird and Paul Seedsman. Brisbane Lions, Charlie Cameron, Jared Lyons, Hugh McCluggage, Daniel Rich, and Dane Zorko. From the Carlton Footy Club, Harry Mackay, Sam Walsh, and Jacob Wiedering. Collingwood, no one. Unfortunately, no Brodie Grundy. Essendon, Zach Merritt, Darcy Parish, Jake Stringer. Freo, you got Sean Darcy and David Mundy. Geelong, we have Tom Stewart and Tom Hawkins. From the Gold Coast, Toy Miller. From GWS, Toby Green and Jacob Hopper. From the Hawks, Tommy Mitchell. From Melbourne, Bailey Fritsch, Max Gorn, Jake Lever, Stephen May, Clayton Oliver, Christian Petrarca, Christian Salem. From North Melbourne, no one, unfortunately, no Aaron Hall. For Adelaide, Alia, Carl Amon, and Ollie Wines. Richmond, no one, as expected. St Kilda, the man of steel, Jack Steele. From Sydney, Lance Franklin, Callum Mills, Tommy Papley, and Luke Parker. From the West Coast Eagles, Nick Natanui. From the Western Bulldogs, Bailey Dale, Marcus Bontempelli, and Jackson McRae. Now, my thoughts on that 40 squad is I normally will show my displeasure of the squad, but of those list of names that I mentioned before, Timmy Taranto, Travis Bowe, Jake Lloyd, Joe Danaher, there's not really many other names that I could fault that weren't on this list. I mean, Brodie Grundy I could mention, but I've come to the conclusion that Jack Crisp is probably one, and Isaac Cumming. They're the other two I'm actually filthy about. I've got to mention this Crusoe's being early. See, when I'm going to re-mention things, I think of more ideas. There's Isaac Cumming and Jack Crisp. We're absolutely robbed of the All-Australian squad of 40. Crisp wasn't putting purely because they'll say it's because it's Collingwood and they did nothing, which is pathetic because they got Nat Nui in there and West Coast did nothing, and a few other players from other clubs that did nothing, like Carlton. And then you got no Isaac Cumming from GWS. Pathetic. Isaac Cumming averaged over 23 positions as a halfback, intercept defender, playing as a third tall defender. and a great job. He's been absolutely robbed. And that's probably the one with Jack Chris I'm pissed off the most, actually, and Jake Lloyd, that did not get in the team. As I said to the squad, Australian selectors, lift your game. Now, I'm going to go through my rising star predictions. I think it's down to 3. And in the order I'll pick, the 3 are as follows. I think in 3rd place from the Melbourne Football Club will be Luke Jackson. In 2nd place, I'm tossing between the top 2 here. I think in 2nd place from the GWS Giants is going to be Tom Green. And I think the 2021 rising star for 2021 will be from the Port Adelaide Football Club, Mitch Georgiades. Mitch Georgiades has had a great year, as has Tommy Green. I think they'll be the 2. I think Luke Jackson will poll 3rd because the list of other players is, you could debate about James Jordan, Errol Goulden. I predicted early in this pre-season that Logan McDonald will win, but he didn't play enough games. And so, yeah, but it is what it is. But that's what I think. I think Mitch Georgiades will win the rising star. Now, one audio message today. Are we right to go? Everyone good to go?
Hi, Scoops. Just a bit of a general one this week. Who's your tip for the flag? Who do you think's coming good at the right time of year? Thanks.
That question was from Sam. Now, the question was in reference to who do I think's in top form for the finals, basically. So I think Brisbane are in form. They're in the right form at the right time. Port Adelaide is starting to hit their form again. Sydney and Gia, as I mentioned earlier as well, on top of those 2 sides I just mentioned. I think it's down in those 4, to be honest. I think Melbourne are obviously still a chance. I don't think Geelong will win it. I don't think Essendon or Bulldogs will. I think Bulldogs are cooked. Essendon will be lucky the last 1 week. And Geelong, we know how they perform in finals. So that just leaves the 4 sides I just mentioned. Port, Brisbane, 5 sides, and Melbourne, along with the other 2 I just mentioned there in Sydney and GWS. But obviously one of Swans of GWS is gone this week. Thanks for your question, Sam. Now, it's the time. It's time for the first ever edition of the Scoops Medal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scoops Medal, the first ever induction of the Scoops Medal for season 2021. Now, we've seen throughout the previous 21 rounds, excluding the last 2 rounds, we've seen the leaderboard. It's going to be tight. So we're going to go through round 22. But there's a point I want to point out before I go through the 2 rounds, that the Hawthorn Western Bulldogs round 22 clash will be read at the very end of the round 23 votes. I will not mention the leaderboard after round 22. And we're just going to flow on from there, guys. So let's go right into it. The Scoops Medal for season 2021. Round 22, GWS v Richmond. GWS. I Cumming, 1 vote. GWS. T Taranto, 2 votes. GWS. J Kelly, 3 votes. Geelong v St Kilda. St Kilda. B Crouch, 1 vote. St Kilda. J Steele, 2 votes. Geelong. S Menangola, 3 votes. Port Adelaide v Carlton. Port Adelaide. T Boak, 1 vote. Port Adelaide. O'Wines, 2 votes. Port Adelaide. K Amon, 3 votes. Brisbane v West Coast. Brisbane v Collingwood, rather. Brisbane. Z Bailey, 1 vote. Brisbane. C Cameron, 2 votes. Brisbane. H McCluggage, 3 votes. North Melbourne v Sydney. North Melbourne. A Hall, 1 vote. Sydney. Al Parker, 2 votes. Sydney. W Haywood, 3 votes. Melbourne v Adelaide. Adelaide. T Lynch, 1 vote. Melbourne. B Fritsch, 2 votes. Adelaide. P Seedsman, 3 votes. Gold Coast v Essendon. Essendon. D Parish, 1 vote. Gold Coast. B Fiorini, 2 votes. Essendon. J Stringer, 3 votes. Fremantle v West Coast. Fremantle. D Mundy, 1 vote. West Coast. A Gaff, 2 votes. Fremantle. C Sarong, 3 votes. Round 23. Sydney v Gold Coast. Sydney. J Lloyd, 1 vote. Gold Coast. T Miller, 2 votes. Sydney. Jay Dawson, 3 votes. Brisbane v West Coast. Brisbane, D Rich, 1 vote. West Coast, N Nat Nui, 2 votes. West Coast, Al Shui, 3 votes. Geelong v Melbourne. Melbourne, J Lever, 1 vote. Melbourne, M Gorn, 2 votes. Melbourne, C Oliver, 3 votes. Carlton v GWS. GWS, T Taranto, 1 vote. GWS, C Ward, 2 votes. Carlton, E Kerno, 3 votes. St Kilda v Fremantle. St Kilda, R Marshall, 1 vote. St Kilda, C Sharman, 2 votes. St Kilda, J Steele, 3 votes. Collingwood v Essendon. Essendon, P Wright, 1 vote. Collingwood, J Elliott, 2 votes. Collingwood, T Adams, 3 votes. Adelaide v North Melbourne. North Melbourne, A Hall, 1 vote. Adelaide, R Laird, 2 votes. Adelaide, B Keys, 3 votes. Western Bulldogs v Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide, S Lysette, 1 vote. Port Adelaide, T Boak, 2 votes. Port Adelaide, O Wines, 3 votes. Richmond v Hawthorn. Hawthorn, C Wingard, 1 vote. Hawthorn, J O'Meara, 2 votes. Hawthorn, T Mitchell, 3 votes. Now, the final game of round 22 that I'm going through, the final game I'm going through for the medal is the Hawthorn v Western Bulldogs clash in round 22. A current update, we have Jackson McRae on top on 39 votes. And we have in second place, Tom Mitchell on 36 votes. Tom Mitchell needs 3 votes to tie Jackson McRae and be the joint winner of the first ever Scoops medal. If he does not poll 3 votes, Jackson McRae will win. Well, let's get stuck right into it. The final game to go through for the Scoops medal, Hawthorn v Western Bulldogs. Hawthorn, T O'Brien, 1 vote. Hawthorn, T Mitchell, 2 votes. Hawthorn, D Howe, 3 votes. The winner of the Scoops medal for season 2021, Jackson McRae. Let's go find out the club's response to Jackson McRae winning the first ever edition of the Scoops medal.
He's done it. The Dogs are in front by a goal, and they come from everywhere.
Well, there you have it, guys. Jackson McRae. You've seen the boys get up and about for Jackson McRae. You've seen Tony Liberatore. You've seen the boys get around Jackson McRae. Jackson McRae is a well-deserved winner, the first ever winner of the Scoops medal. I'm going to go through the top 7 for the Scoops medal. First time in the top 7 from the Melbourne Football Club, 23 votes, Clayton Oliver. In 6th place from the Crows on 25 votes, Rory Laird. In 5th place from the Port Adelaide Footy Club on 27 votes, Ollie Wines. In 4th place from the Saints, the man of steel on 33 votes, Jack Steele. In 3rd place on 34 votes from the Suns, Toik Miller. In 2nd place on 38 votes from the Hawks, Tommy Mitchell. And in 1st place on 39 votes, the winner of the Scoops medal for 2021 on the Western Bulldogs, Jackson McRae. 1 vote. Jackson McRae won by 1 vote. Jackson McRae did not poll in the last 2 games. Tommy Mitchell had a 2 in Tassie. Daniel Howe, I can now exclusively reveal, I was so torn in that game. T-Mitch was so close that Daniel Howe just pipped him. So if you're going to blame anyone for Tommy Mitch not tying, it's Daniel Howe. Howe had a great last 2 weeks. But yeah, Seen the reaction of the boys for Jackson McRae winning from the Western Bulldogs. It's a great honour for Jackson McRae. So congratulations, Jackson McRae. Now I'm going to go through the leaderboard or the top poll getter for each club of everyone. So first of all, I'm going to go all the way back to alphabetical order. Now, I'm not going to go through vote by club by club. That will be here. We'll be here all day. But I'm going to go through the top 2 players from each club and how many votes they got, because I know a lot of you want to know. From the Crows, as I mentioned earlier, 25 votes for Rory Laird, but Eagles second, both on 12 votes, Tex Walker and Ben Keys. From the Brisbane Lions on 13 votes, Jared Lyons. In second place for the Lions with 10 votes, Hugh McCluggage. From the Carlton Footy Club on 22 votes, Sam Walsh. And in second place on 7, Harry Mackay. From the Collingwood Footy Club on 18 votes, Brodie Grundy. And second place for the Pies with 11 votes, Jordan De Goey. From the Essendon Football Club on 21 votes, Zach Merritt. On 13 votes from the Bombers in second place, Darcy Parish. Fremantle, 16 votes for Andrew Brayshaw. With 13 votes in second place for the Dockers, Sean Darcy. For Geelong, with 15 votes, Cam Guthrie, and in second place on 8 votes, Tom Stewart. For Gold Coast, 34 votes for Toik Miller from the Gold Coast, and in second place for the Suns on 7 votes, Jack Bowes. For GWS, with 16 votes, Tim Taranto, and in second place with 12 votes, Josh Kelly. For the Hawks, 38 votes for the second place, Tom Mitchell, and in second place for the Hawks with 12, Jager O'Meara. For the Demons, with 23 votes, was Clayton Oliver, and in second place with 11 votes, Maxi Gawn. North Melbourne, 16 votes for Aaron Hall. Second place for the Roos, 11 votes, Jai Simpkin. Port Adelaide with 27 votes, Ollie Wines, and 21 votes for Carl Amon. For Richmond, with 7 votes, Jack Rewalt, and in second place, 4 votes, Toby Nankervis. For the Saints, 33 votes in first place for the Saints, Amanda Steele, Jack Steele. And in second place for the Saints with 17 votes from the Saints, Brad Crouch. We're going to now move on to Sydney. We got 19 votes, Callum Mills. In second place with 17 votes for the Swans, Luke Parker. For the West Coast Eagles with 14 votes. On top for the Eagles, Andrew Gaff with 9 votes. In second place for the Eagles, Jack Redden. For the Western Bulldogs, the winner of the Scoops medal with 39 votes, as I mentioned earlier, Jackson McRae. In second place for the Western Bulldogs on 8 votes, Marcus Bontempelli. Now, let me know your thoughts down below, guys, of the winner, Jackson McRae, and all those top 2 leaderboards for each club. Hope you enjoyed that. And the first ever induction of the Scoops medal. Leave your thoughts down below. Again, I'd like to congratulate on 39 votes, Jackson McRae. Now, a few things in my final thoughts, and they are this. Adam Chera, as of this recording, has officially requested a trade from the Dockers to a Victorian club. You see Carlton's in the mix. Wouldn't rule out a few other clubs. I'm not going to mention clubs yet, but getting my trade sources up and about in the last couple of weeks. So, Charlie Constable, Jordan Clark, Quinton Narkle have all requested out of Geelong. People want to say, well, will they do it when they're in season to be full? They have. Don't doubt me. Thank you very much. They all went out, and they probably all won't be there next year. Tears of emotion. What a great night it was for the Scoops medal. And my ladder prediction. Ladder predictor for the final series. I'm going to go through as follows. I mentioned my tips already this round. Brisbane beating Melbourne, Bulldogs beating Essendon, Sydney beating GWS, and Port beating Geelong. If that goes as follows, it would be Melbourne Bulldogs next week. I would go for Melbourne. And it'll be Geelong and Sydney next week, which I'll go for the Swans, which will eliminate the Bulldogs and Geelong. Then when it leave to the preliminary final rounds, it'll be Brisbane and Sydney, and Port Adelaide and Melbourne. I'll go for Brisbane and Port respectively in those games, which would eliminate the Swans and Demons. It would leave in the grand final Brisbane and Port Adelaide. The venue will probably be in Adelaide, which could favour the Power, but it could also be in Perth. It could be a neutral. Could it be at the Gabba? We don't know. But regardless, at this stage, I'll be going to my Premier for 2021, which was the team that I predicted to win the Premiership for me this year, and that's the Brisbane Lions. But saying that, I predicted Brisbane and Port pre-season to make the 2021 grand final, and looking that way right now, and through my predictor, it's heading that way. So Brisbane and the Power. Now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this long and amazing edition of Kick It to Scoops. Just one thing I also want to mention too. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want any of your audio messages on the show, email me at aflinfolive@gmail.com, and you may feature on the show, but you've got to send them through. And also, finally, any of the merch. You want any of the merch at all, head to the website. You know what to do. The link is in the description. Hope you guys enjoy this edition of Kick It Scoops. Until next week, everyone, have a great one. And most importantly, go Let's Say Des!